Every bull market seems to crown a new group of winners, but there are always a few familiar names that make their way back into the spotlight. Cardano is one of those projects. It's been around for years, survived multiple market cycles, and despite the critics, it continues to hold one of the largest and most loyal communities in crypto. If you're holding 13,619 ADA right now, the question is simple. What could that bag be worth by 2026? In this video, we're going to break it all down. The current numbers, Cardano's fundamentals, and the possible scenarios that might play out over the next year. But before we dive into the details, let me quickly mention the exchange I personally use to trade crypto, and that's WEEX. It's reliable, has deep liquidity, super low fees, and one of the widest selections of coins on the market. Right now, you can claim up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses and trade with up to 400x leverage. The best part? No KYC is required. Use the link in the description to sign up and claim your bonus today. So let's get started. At the time of recording, ADA is trading at around 82 cents with a market cap sitting close to $30 billion. The circulating supply is around 36.5 billion tokens. With that price, your 13,619 ADA are currently worth about $11,175. That's the baseline. But as with any investment in crypto, the real excitement comes from looking ahead and seeing what could happen by 2026. Cardano is a project that has always taken the long road. While other blockchains rushed to market with half-finished products, Cardano built slowly, with an academic and research-driven approach. Its proof-of-stake system, Ouroboros, was one of the first of its kind to be mathematically proven secure. Over the years, upgrades have rolled out gradually. Shelley brought staking, Alonzo unlocked smart contracts, and now the Basho era is focused on scalability. The next stage, Voltaire, will bring governance and treasury management, effectively handing over control of the protocol to its community. This slow and steady approach has been both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it has given Cardano an image of being overly cautious and late to the party. On the other hand, it has created a resilient ecosystem that has survived bear markets and kept its community engaged. That matters a lot because projects with strong communities are often the ones that recover the fastest when bullish sentiment returns. Let's talk about the price potential. ADA hit an all-time high of over $3 in the last bull market. Since then, it has retraced significantly, but today's price near 80 cents shows it has begun to recover along with the rest of the market. Analysts are watching the $1 mark closely. If ADA breaks that barrier, it could quickly pick up momentum as more retail investors take notice. So what does this mean for your 13,619 ADA? Let's run the scenarios. In a conservative case, if ADA climbs back to $1, your holdings would be worth about $13,619. That's a modest but still meaningful gain from today's value of $11,175. In a more moderate scenario, let's say ADA reaches $1.50. At that price, your bag would be worth around $20,428. That's nearly doubling your money in about a year. In a bullish case, ADA hitting $2 would make your holdings worth over $27,238. That's more than double the current value, which would be a strong return in such a short time frame. If ADA returns to its all-time high of $3, your 13,619 tokens would be valued at just over $40,857. That's more than triple today's worth, and it's a level that Cardano has already achieved in the past. So it's not unrealistic to imagine it getting there again if the market cycle plays out strongly. And if we push into more speculative territory, imagine ADA climbing to $5. At that point, your bag would be worth about $68,095. For ADA to get there, its market cap would need to be well over $150 billion, which would require massive adoption and a very strong bull cycle. While ambitious, it's not out of the question if the crypto market as a whole enters a parabolic phase. So what would it take for Cardano to reach these higher levels? First, the ecosystem needs continued growth. DeFi protocols, NFT platforms, and real-world asset tokenization on Cardano are all expanding, but adoption has to keep accelerating. Second, the launch of Voltaire could give ADA holders more confidence as governance shifts to the community. If Cardano becomes a fully decentralized, self-sustaining ecosystem, that would be a strong selling point for new investors. Another big factor is staking. Cardano already has one of the largest staking communities, with millions of tokens locked across thousands of pools. This reduces liquid supply and creates consistent demand. If institutional products like staking-based funds gain traction, it could bring even more capital into ADA. Community engagement is also critical. Cardano's community is one of the largest in crypto, and it has proven time and again that it can withstand downturns. When the market turns bullish, that community support often translates into rapid price movement, as we saw in previous cycles. On the technical side, ADA has been consolidating in a range between 79 cents cents and 84 cents, with strong resistance around 95 cents. Breaking and holding above $1 would likely trigger new interest and bring in fresh buyers. From there, the path to 150 and $2 becomes more realistic. Once momentum builds, FOMO kicks in, and prices can rise much faster than expected. Of course, there are risks. Cardano's slow development pace means competitors could continue to capture market share with faster-moving ecosystems. Regulatory uncertainty could also weigh on ADA, especially in the US. And if overall market sentiment weakens, ADA may struggle to reach its targets. But one thing is clear: Cardano has weathered multiple storms, and it continues to build. That resilience, combined with a loyal community and a focus on decentralization, makes it a project that many investors believe has staying power. Let's recap the numbers. Your 13,619 ADA are currently worth about $11,175. If ADA reaches $1, that jumps to over 13,600. At $1.50, it's just over 20,000. At $2, more than 27,000. At $3, over 40,000. And if ADA ever hits $5, your holdings would be worth more than $68,000. As always, remember, this is not financial advice. The crypto market is highly volatile and unpredictable, and prices can swing dramatically in a short period of time. Always do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. But the takeaway here is simple. Even modest gains in ADA could make a big difference for your 13,619 tokens by 2026. If Cardano continues to grow its ecosystem, roll out governance with Voltaire, and attract more users and developers, then the potential upside is significant. The only question is whether Cardano will be one of the blockchains that defines the next bull market. If it is, your bag could be worth far more than it is today.